Alright, folks, so you have arrived at this Ghost camp. You've followed the stench here, and you come up to this pile, and you can tell it's dirt, but it seems to be more organic. Like, it doesn't actually look like a shit pile, but it smells like a shit pile. So you're sitting back, and you can see that there's a very small community of these ghost creatures. Kind of, there's a couple sitting around the fire, and you see some very small ones back in the distance. You can see that there's a couple tents that are made out of very worn hide. It seems very natural around here, where there's really nothing more than leaves and trees and animal product that seems to be used for any of these tents. You can see a few like personal tents. You can see these personal tents down on the southern side, and then there's two larger tents up north. You just kind of see these creatures hanging around the fire, just kind of not doing much more. The smaller ones in the far distance are they kind of just seem to be jumping and playing. So Edward, you see these creatures, and you were the one that led them here. So
First of all, there's a reason I'm not standing on the dirt pile.
what do you mean you
Not
can't
dirt.
see us?
What?
His roll 20's probably messed up.
Yeah, using Firefox.
No, he said he was in Chrome.
Yeah, I'm on Chrome now.
The dirt pile is not a dirt pile. It's actually these creatures kind of like shedding skin.
Something
So
like that.
the kind of filth, the filth
They
that
molt.
they kind of molt a little bit, and it's just all the filth because they don't bathe or anything. It just kind of flops off.
Sounds like
Every once in a
you're
while, they
trying
kinda-
to spout some lore about what these creatures are.
Yeah.
So spouting lore. Go ahead and roll against your intelligence.
It's my intelligence, and then what's my intelligence bonus? You know what? Let's just do that.
All right. So on a 7 to 9, I will tell you something interesting. So yes, when you look a little closer to these creatures, you can see that they seem to have like this green leaves for fur. They seem very bush-like, where you can't really tell where these leaves end and their underskin begins. But when they move around, it definitely looks like a moving bush, but it has very defined facial features. They have a very vine-like tail that goes behind them. They definitely, you can tell that being so organic, this probably is their shit pile, but they don't eat things like protein. They are very, they seem very organic. So, Kenshin, you've looks like you've kind of taken a front position there. What are you thinking? What would you like to do?
Well, for starters, just because these things stink doesn't necessarily mean that they're hostile. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna use this thinner part of their pile, and I'm actually just gonna walk through.
Okay. They haven't really changed or anything. You can see once you're a little bit closer that one of them is roasting what looks to be a large hunk of meat, but the meat seems to be kind of green. It seems a little odd. Like, it doesn't look like it's moldy. It just looks like that's the color of the meat. There's kind of this weird.
Oh God! They killed a tofalope.
There's this weird kind of chant of the others around the fire where they just seem to be, again, just relaxed, enjoying their own company, singing something in their native tongue, perhaps like a dinner song, something like that.
Your chat has disappeared from your stream. The Roll20 stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Weird. Okay. Let me fix that real quick.
They're chanting about the meat. No, the meat.
moment while everything. There
What
we
have
go.
they done to the meat?
Yeah, it seems, if they were to be singing a campfire song, that is what they're. They kind of look like they may be more feminine, just the way that they are. I don't know, tending to things. It's not aggressive in nature. It's very kind of caring when they're working on the meat. It's very tender what they're doing. You can see that they kind of keep looking to the smaller creatures in the back just to see what they're doing, making sure they're doing anything silly. But you can see that there's one that seems to be much larger, standing at the flap of this tent that's to the northwest, standing there with his arms crossed. He has muscles, but again, you can't call them muscles because it just looks like defined leaves over something. It's strange to see. Rohan,
Down at the
this
leaf
is
harem.
weird place to be. What are you doing?
Keeping my eyes open to identify
Okay,
the
I'm back.
strongest target, so I can then challenge and prove my strength.
Okay.
Of course.
So you're kind of like trying to scout out the camp, trying to like discern the realities of this
Yeah.
place. So that is against your wisdom. All right, on a 7 to 9, you get to ask one of the what happened here recently, what is about to happen, what should I be on the lookout for, what here is useful or valuable to me, who's really in control here, what here is not what it
Yeah.
appears to be.
Who's really in control here is probably the
Who
one he
appears
wants.
to be in control?
Who's really in control here? You
That's
feel
me.
like these creatures all have a connection to a magical being. They are almost seeming to be bound to their duties, and there definitely seems to be a magical presence in this area.
Okay.
And so, Sirach, you've been around the forest. You probably smelled the scent. What are you trying to do?
I don't think he's here.
No, I'm back.
Oh, you're back? Okay.
Yeah, I reloaded Chrome and
I know.
Stiltz's voice was broadcasting through it, and it was really loud.
Oh, fix that.
No, it was just it was on my end.
Does he reset his page?
Yeah.
Yeah, new browser. It doesn't. I didn't
Or
have
if
it
he
turned
like
down
took
yet.
off
But
his armor or something.
What are you doing,
what was your
Sirach?
question?
What are you doing?
I'm just kind of rolling around in this this really wonderfully fragrant pile that I'm standing on.
All right.
Disgusting.
Well,
This
you,
stuff
you,
is great.
as you go
It
through,
opens up your pores.
yeah, you can definitely tell. Like, if you were to put this in a garden, like it would definitely the plants would be big. They'd be very healthy. It would be a really good fertilizer to use.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Edward, you've noticed a few of your companions kind of moving around and stuff.
Oh, fucking halflings rolling around and plant people's shit. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay away from him for a while. And I'm gonna move up here next to Kenshin, and I might try to communicate with these things.
Okay.
I'm
No,
working
Edward,
my way around.
I
Not like
showed you
pile.
the
right up
secrets
next
of
to
this
kitchen,
land.
so they don't, like,
This
right
stuff
up here.
is great. Why aren't
Right
you
here.
like?
All right. So as you
interested in
go past that tent there, Edward, I'm gonna need you to apply danger dexterity, as you've noticed that the straps that are keeping these tents down seem to be very sharp and.
Fuck me.
Okay. So you go through and you can see the creature closest to you turns around and looks directly at you and kind of mutters something. And this other one in the back grabs all of the young creatures, and they all go away in that tent. The rest of them all
Right.
turn around, face you.
I mean no harm. Just here to
I'm
retrieve
gonna start
the...
making my way
They
up
look
to
at you
Edward. I have
with their head
some
cocked to the
very nice
side.
things for him.
Oh, what's that, Sirach?
I'm making my way up to Edward. I'm bringing him things because I had shown him secrets of the land, so I'm trying to show him another one.
So, Edward, the creatures kind of tilt their head and they're looking at you very, kind of inquisitively. They're all just standing guarded around the campfire. Kenshin, what are you doing?
I am, without removing my hand from my blade, although I haven't cleared it from its sheath any, I too am going to, move to here.
Okay.
I am skirting around behind that's trying to remain stealthy and unnoticed.
Okay. If
Again,
you're,
still
are
sizing
you
up.
both trying to do stealth? Are you making your present known?
Oh, I'm just moving through. I'm not trying to
Okay.
hide myself.
Rohan, roll me
I'm letting
Defy Danger
them
Dexterity.
distract everybody.
Roll that dex, Ginger.
Do I need to roll or just Rohan?
Just Rohan.
That's an
Rohan.
experience point.
Yep, that is indeed. So, Rohan, as you're going past the tents here, you kind of do the same thing. You trip up on one of these straps that's down there, and hear this very strange kind of yip as one of these apples that in front of Kenshin uncurls into this two-tailed fox-like creature, which immediately sees Kenshin and starts charging towards Kenshin.
The apples are alive! Oh no!
You're welcome.
Sirach, you've seen this happen. There's this weird two-tailed fox-like creature that has just uncurled from a very fruit-like stance and is charging Kenshin on the other side of the tent.
Oh,
I'm
God.
trying to give Edward something without him noticing. I'm slipping a little piece of the pile into his backpack.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay,
Does they have to roll
Defy
against
Danger Dexterity. See if you can do it quick enough. Okay.
something? Do I have to roll against that, right?
No, because that's a success. So, Sirach, you're able to get the
Just putting shit in my
Two
pocket,
in
God
his-
damn it.
in his pocket, but as
I don't have anything except for books. Getting shit all over my books.
so what you've actually
Fucking
done is you've
Half
gone
great.
into a pocket that has a couple scrolls in there, and as you pull your hand out, you get a paper cut. Normally a 1d4 damage.
Fuck you, you little halfling bastard.
Ouch! It's a sharp.
It's a sharp tone.
piece of papyrus. It's a sharp piece of
I know how
papyrus
to.
right there.
Look, I've been handling this.
Alright,
you
so you have
just a
armor.
one.
Kenshin, you have this red-tailed fox-like creature that's approaching you.
I just yelled, "Don't kill it! Just knock it out!"
I am actually going to disregard the daft man, and I am instead going to simply hold my left hand out to it, palm up, at about its nose level.
Okay.
Gonna boop the hand.
So this creature comes up to you, and it starts, and it smelled different. You don't smell like normal things do of this place. So it stops, turns around, starts heading this way where you heard the sound. Rohan, you've tripped over a vine.
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's gonna die. Oh god.
I'm gonna have to restart my computer because my mouse isn't working.
Okay, so Rohan takes a quick nap.
Yep.
Rohan
Okay.
hit his head on a rock as
Yeah.
he fell down.
Rohan got poisoned by a vine, knocked out.
The vine
so the-
knocked him in a sleeper hold.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's like,
So Edward, you have these three creatures looking at you with their heads kind of tilted to the side, saying, "Did you say?"
did they say anything? Have
They
said
haven't said
anything?
anything. They're just looking at you.
Can I try to talk to them? We're here to retrieve what was it, a jar of stuff that the Gnome King wanted? I think that's what she said. Or whatever.
They
I'm
start
forgetting
kind of
whatever.
copying your body movements, like with how flamboyant your arms are. Like they're just kind of doing this.
The thing, with the thing, the Gnome King with the pointy hat, I kind of want the thing. You got the thing? I don't have any food.
She reaches behind and grabs a chunk of this green meat and throws it at you.
Good. I grab it and, take a bite. Whatever. I'll communicate with the natives.
All right, I need you to roll me a Defy Danger Constitution. Okay. So the meat doesn't taste bad. Like it's definitely not moldy, but it's very, very sour. So as you're eating it, you feel like your tongue starting to get really, really, really dry, and you actually lose your voice.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he'll be back soon enough. Yeah. Kenshin, you've had this creature start wandering by to go back where Rohan's sleeping. You've seen this other creature throw a piece of meat toward Edward, then consumed it. I think it was kind of green in color. But what?
I'm actually going to proceed forward to this next fruit
Okay.
Fruit fox.
and gently touch it.
So as you reach down to the piece of fruit, it squishes and it seems very ripe and ready to eat. You know that this is called an eagleberry. They are basically the only fruit that actually grows on the very large oak trees, and they very closely resemble the eggs of these huge eagle creatures that live up above the trees. They only fly above where the eagles lay, but their eggs are very round, and these eggs kind of closely, or these pieces of fruit very closely resemble that.
Ah. Well, I'm going to taste some of it
Okay.
since it deteriorated so much as a well-ripened fruit would.
So it tastes very it doesn't taste like a fruit. It tastes very much like kind of a radish taste, where it's very water-like, but its actual flavor is kind of that of dirt. It doesn't have like a sweet taste or anything. It does feel like as you're eating it, it fills you. Like you take one bite and you feel full. It feels very, very filling.
That's actually quite pleasant.
Sirach, what are you doing? Oh,
Well, I've got my finger in my mouth because I got that paper cut. I'm going to come around front and walk closer towards the group and try and communicate with them.
No, Hawk. That's close, but they're more kind of creaturey than.
Okay.
humanoid.
So yeah, as you approach, the one closest to the front starts approaching you as well. And again, as you get closer, you can tell that this is a creature. It does look, if we were to compare it, very chimpanzee-like, but its fur is that of nature. It does have very bright blue eyes. It has a full mouth of what appears to be fangs, but it's more like viney, and so it kind of approaches you as well, and it's kind of smelling. It can tell that you're definitely closer to nature, so it's okay with you. It's kind of moving closer. It's still inquisitive. Going.
Jason?
I'm going to approach it and kind of mimic its movements.
It's mimicking
So that
you,
way-
mimicking it.
Their people feel comfortable and relaxed.
Same.
So it has this tail that reaches up over its back and very snake-like starts coming towards your head.
Sorry,
What
what
did I
was that?
miss?
So it has this very vine-like tail that reaches up over its shoulder, and it starts kind of snaking towards you.
I'm just going to
Kill it with fire.
allow it
Oh, two. There
to
we go.
continue to approach me.
So as it hits your head, you feel this shock wave where you feel pulled into this group now, and you hear, "Who are you? Why are you here?"
I'm going to just kind of, in my mind, explain
Gonna be just that anyway.
what we are after in this area.
She doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. She seems kind of confused. What? After Jar? No, ghosts don't have Jar. What is Jar? You think on that. Rohan, you have awoken from your brief sleep. You can hear that there's this two-tailed fox-like creature kind of sniffing by the tent, coming down towards you.
Oh lord, here it comes.
Since I don't know what's going on and I hear a creature coming at me, I'm just going to wait for it to come right around the corner and then punch it right in its nose.
Okay. So it heads around the corner and roll me a hack and slash.
Roll that 2d6.
It's what strength, right?
Yes. All right, and roll your damage.
And you murder it. It's dead.
Right. So as you punch down into this creature, it gives this loud shriek, and yeah, you crush it to nothingness. Yipes. And as you look back to kind of up the area where the rest of the apples are laying, you see
I'll take
Okay.
on the whole herd.
Well, I'm just sitting here,
three more of these creatures
gesturing.
get out and start kind of growling towards Kenshin now. They've heard one of theirs attacked Kenshin.
I will proceed to calmly stare them in the face and just hold out my hand. My other hand, of course, is on the hilt of my sword, but
So they do the same thing of kind of sniffing towards your direction and start heading towards where the other one was killed. Sirach, this creature is questioning what is jar? What is want? What is jar?
Just going to try and explain that it is a container in which something
You're
is
using
held
words that they don't
is-
understand.
Well, that's why I'm
What
trying
is
to
want?
explain, like with your
This-
hands, motions, like.
Flash some of the images with your mind, bro.
Bark God. Bark God good. Bark God safe. No jar. Bark God good.
Don't think you need this shirt, Stilts.
Don't think I need a shirt.
No, this shirt. The I Do Words
Oh,
Good shirt.
yeah. Edward, you see Sirach, he has this vine pressed up against his forehead and he's making these strange movements with his body to one of these creatures. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk up next to him here, and since I can't say anything, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. And try
As
to at
soon
least
as
get
you
him to
make
calm
that
down.
contact, you feel this volt as well, and you feel pulled into this group. You can feel like these souls all pushed together with you. You feel connected to all these creatures and creatures you don't even see here. You're one with nature. You can almost feel like the breeze going through the wind. And this ghost says, "You, who is you? What is want?"
Proceed to use small words and my knowledge and try to explain it to them best I can. I don't.
Bark God good, no jar. See, she's kind of starting to get a little more. Bark God good, no jar. No jar. Bark God good. Keep safe, no jar.
Hey, no jar. We'll leave. We'll leave. You ain't got what we want.
Leave, 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 leave,
Leave.
leave, leave.
Leave. Away. Away. Move. Away. Away.
She disconnects her
ready for
connection.
my
You
next
guys kind of
attack.
get pulled out of it, and she kind of turns around and starts gibbering to the other DOS back here. When you were connected again, you can feel that there's definitely a connection to many other creatures. It just felt like you were flying, you were running, you were swimming, you were bending in the wind, and you were falling from a great distance. You felt all of these things at the same time. It was a very strange sensation. Rohan, you see that there's 3 of these creatures. They're standing back and they're growling at you, but they're not approaching. Keeping an eye on.
I'm actually going to shout from the other side of the camp and tell him that the animals in front of him are good and not to harm them.
I don't think we can even see that he's being attacked yet. He's off behind
Tension
the
can.
tents.
Tension can see that the creatures.
I was gonna say I had no knowledge of any of the interaction you guys had, so it's an animal that's coming at me. I'm just gonna defend
They've
myself.
stopped at the edge of the tents. They're standing right next to Kenshin, but staring directly at you.
I'm actually just gonna walk here between the 2 of them and put my hand on one of them.
It doesn't. It moves away. It doesn't really like to be touched, but it doesn't move in a direction towards Rohan, just a little further away. It doesn't attack her. They're still looking at Rohan. They're ready. You know, they're definitely ready for action. They're down with their front legs down, their hindquarters up, baring their teeth, really acting to be as big as they are, growling, trying to be scary.
They will not hurt you if you don't hurt them.
It's a little late for that now.
One of them turns around and runs off into the forest.
Can't do anything. I don't have a voice.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just move past him.
As
Obviously,
you
keeping
walk
an
and
eye
they
on him.
as you walk by, and they see your back towards them, they do try to leap at you. So roll a defy danger. See if you can. It's them.
Great. Oh, there goes this camp.
So describe like as they kind of snip at your ankles, kind of jump over them.
No, I mean they're trying to attack me. I'll just go ahead and hit one right in the face.
Okay. Roll your hack and slash. As the other one misses, it runs off into the.
Rolled an 8. Alright.
Okay. Roll your damage. All right. So as you're coming down to strike this beast, it jumps up real quick and goes with its claws crazy and just biting at your face. Roll me a d6 with 1. All right. So you take 3 damage, 1 piercing.
Nope,
This guy-
I take 1 damage because my armor value is 2.
Not keeping track of your armor. That's up to you. All right, and so that one dies as well. The big guy in the back starts charging, making huge sounds, like flaring his arms around and very, very angry, just trying to be the biggest, pounding on chest, basically saying you need a GTFO. Kenshin, you see this big guy making loud noises and screaming and hollering and pounding his chest.